The way you speak to potential customers could be the reason why you're not closing as many paint protection and autofilm jobs as you'd like. If I were to guess, your conversations with potential customers probably look something like this. Right? And then they ghost you. You did everything right? You gave them what they asked for. So why do they disappear? I've noticed this problem with a lot of shop owners, and you may not be overpriced, you may not be bad at what you do, but there's always a but. You're just missing the one part of the process that turns interest into commitment. And it's not about sounding more salesy, it's about learning how to guide a lead in a way that gets them to sell themselves on your service. The reason why saying the price too early kills the sale is that every time you throw out a price without context, you're forcing the customer to make a decision without understanding the value behind your services. The Journal of Consumer Psychology has shown that when buyers don't have reference points, they default to the simplest metric, and that is pricing. That means your lead is subconsciously comparing your professional grade PPF job to a budget guy who uses generic film in his garage because to them, all they heard was two numbers. And that's why they end up ghosting you. And that's not because they didn't want protection, but because you didn't guide them through why your offer solves their specific pain. This small communication mistake can cost you thousands in lost sales every month, and it's completely fixable. Why being straightforward is actually hurting you is demonstrated in this picture below. And as I said, this is done by a lot of shop owners when a lead messages them. An interested lead comes in asking for a price. They reply with the pricing instantly with little to no understanding of what the customer actually wants or needs. Then they get ghosted and the lead never replies back. Funny thing is, on top of this huge mistake, a lot of shop owners have zero infrastructure for automations, tracking lead replies, or anything of that nature. So not only do they take forever to respond to new leads, they also fail to follow up later down the line, which tanks their potential even further. And that's it. They think being straightforward makes them look professional, when in reality, it actually makes them look replaceable. You have to keep in mind, you're not taking orders here, you are selling. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Most installers don't want to come across as pushy. They don't want to waste too much time on each sale, but if the money is there, I don't see a reason why not. But being pushy and being persuasive are also not the same thing. According to Harvard Business Review, top performing salespeople spend 3 times more of their conversation understanding the client's situation before presenting any kind of price or packaging. And another problem I've noticed is that most of you are answering questions like ChatGPT instead of actually leading the conversation. If you want leads to sell themselves, you need to shift your mindset. When someone asks for a price, don't immediately think quote. Instead, think consultation. Your goal isn't to convince them. Your goal is to help them convince themselves. Because when a customer says yes because they decided, it actually sticks. When they say yes because you pushed, it falls apart. Here's what that looks like in action. You can try saying something like, yeah, I can get you a quote, just so I recommend the right package. Can I ask what kind of driving you do and how long you plan to keep the car? This question does 3 things at once. Number 1, it builds authority, so you sound like an expert, not a salesman. Number 2, it shifts control, so you lead the conversation and they follow. And number 3, it triggers commitment, so they start explaining their needs, which gets them emotionally invested. Number 3 is one of the main causes of leads selling themselves on the service. So once they tell you their situation, you start connecting the dots for them. Like, got it. Since you're driving daily and plan to keep the car long term, the full front PPF makes the most sense. It protects the areas that get hit first, which is the hood, bumper, and mirrors. It's the same package most of our daily drivers go for. Now you've created a mental loop. They've just told you why they need protection, and you've mirrored that back with your solution. Right? They have a problem, which is why they're in need of protection. You have a solution. Not a commodity, a solution to a problem. You didn't sell them anything, you helped them sell themselves. You're not throwing around services and numbers. You're showing them, again, you're showing them a solution to their wants, needs, or desires. Okay? And these types of questions gets the lead to open up more and, again, start selling themselves. Like, this is so important that I had to repeat it twice. If you're not doing something similar to this, you don't have to do it exactly as I've written here, but you need to at least try to understand what the lead is is looking for. Then if they hit you with an objection like, that's a lot of money, which people get all the time, don't fight it. As I said, you're selling a solution to their problem. What is your solution? Your solution is simply a bridge to a gap, so align with it. You could say something like, totally fair. Most people feel that way at first, but the thing is, rock chips and repaints can easily cost more than the film itself, and even then, it never looks factory again. This can help you prevent that problem. What you're doing here is not arguing, you're reframing. You're shifting their focus from cost to value. To give you a confidence boost in what I'm saying, neuroscience actually backs this up. Studies on decision making from University of Chicago show that when buyers can connect a purchase to a loss prevention, meaning they see what they'll avoid losing, they are twice as likely to buy. That's why showing what happens if you don't do this is also very powerful. And no matter what you do, no matter the framework you follow, the most important thing is this. As I mentioned before, you're not there to sell a product, you're there to lead a decision. Because when you start taking a more consultative approach, when you slow down, you ask questions and make the client talk about their own needs, they start to feel the ownership of the decision. They start feeling like they are the ones buying something. Obviously they know this, but subconsciously they may not. They start thinking like, who is this guy? Why does he want me to buy his services so bad? Right? You're making them make their own decisions. Now, there are a lot of things that go into a sales script. Obviously, I can't include everything in here, but there's a lot of things you can explore online, on YouTube, wherever you prefer, that go through things, offering multiple tiers of your services. This is just one single tier. Like, you're instantly giving them your suggestion. Now, if this isn't the most expensive, you have to be a bit careful because customers can smell bullshit. If you always recommend the most expensive package, you're not gonna go that far. But if you actually recommend the best package for them, which is the main reason why you're on a call with them, or maybe they visited your shop, is because you're a consultant. You're giving them the best choice, that they're the actual best choice for their problems or their car or whatever. And if it's not the most expensive option, people can start sensing that, oh, this guy actually wants the best for me. So however you want to take it, I would say that's a good reputation boost as well, because people will say like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about and he's not bullshitting me. He's not trying to sell me the most expensive package. He's not here for my pockets. He's not trying to empty my pockets. So if you want me to send you a copy of this document, comment close mistake and I'll send it over to you. And if you have any other questions, you can DM me on my Instagram, which should be in the description below.